This just in. The chairman of the House Committee on Oversight, Congressman James Comer, is calling for the White House to release the visitor logs for President Biden's Delaware residence after the White House announced yesterday that 5 more pages marked as classified were found there earlier this week, bringing the grand total to 6 pages. An update to the singular page the White House said was found at the residence early Thursday. The situation has drawn comparisons to Donald Trump's hoarding of hundreds of documents at Mar-a-Lago in defiance of subpoenas, which then led to an FBI search last August. But this is like comparing apples and basketballs. Both are spherical in nature, and that's about all the two have in common. Joining me now, Melissa Murray, MSNBC legal analyst and professor at the NYU School of Law, and Charlie Savage, Washington correspondent for the New York Times and MSNBC contributor and author of Power Wars, The Relentless Rise of Presidential Authority and Secrecy. Thank you both very much for coming here. Charlie, let me get your reaction to this news from the House Oversight Committee chairman calling for the release of the White House visitor logs at President Biden's Delaware residence. Is this something we should have seen coming?
Of course, the Republicans love this, and they're going to try to investigate it, which will raise immediate problems in terms of getting access to ongoing criminal investigative files. And that's why there's some ambivalence among the Republican camp about the fact that Garland did appoint a special counsel here, even though if he had not, of course, they would have attacked him for having a double standard in not doing so. On the other hand, what's wrong with publicly releasing what Secret Service logs to Biden's personal house? We see those for the White House, at least when Trump's not in president. And so I don't think that's necessarily outrageous to call for. Mm-hmm. There was something confused about Comer's statement. He was attacking them because after a special counsel was appointed early on Thursday, he said then Biden aides without personal lawyers without a security clearance went and found these other 5 documents. That's inaccurate. A White House lawyer, Dick Sauber, who does have an active security clearance, was the person who went back to Wilmington to meet the Justice Department and turn over that 1 additional page during which they looked through other materials and found these other 5 pages. Mm-hmm. So that's just not correct.
Right. And Charlie, what are they exactly trying to find by looking at the visitor logs? Are they searching for someone in particular? Or I'm still trying to understand why.
Well, when the Mar-a-Lago documents matter came to light, there was a lot of discussion about how insecure Mar-a-Lago is. It's a club and people come and they bring guests. And so what does that mean about having all of these hundreds of pages of classified documents sitting there that weren't supposed to be there? So I am sure that what they're looking for is someone who visited Biden's house in Wilmington who looks suspicious. And then they can say, what if this person went into the garage and opened that box? They would have seen whatever this document was. On the other hand, if someone was suspicious and bad who was going to his house in Wilmington, it seems like that would be worthy of attention whether or not there were documents there. So again, I'm not so upset to say they should release those logs. Why not? He's president.
Yeah, it just seems to be the White House would be like, yeah, bet, sure, here, have them. We don't have anything to hide. Melissa, there are big differences between what occurred with Trump and what's currently unfolding with President Biden. I'm just wondering, what do you think the appointment of a special counsel in the Biden case was necessary? And what do you make of special counsel Robert Hur?
Well, Jonathan, I think the real issue here is a distinction between law and politics. As a legal matter, you're right. There is a real difference between these two scenarios. As you say, it's apples to oranges, or to borrow your earlier metaphor, apples to basketballs. Mm-hmm. Smaller number of documents here, a real interest in working with the Department of Justice. Once they found those documents, they immediately informed the National Archives. That was not the case with the Trump administration, which was openly defiant of the National Archives for many, many months before finally the FBI was forced to execute a search warrant to recover those documents and then found even more. So both in size and in scope, it was really quite different. The question of whether to appoint a special prosecutor was really a question of optics, and that really goes to the question of politics. If the Attorney General had not appointed a special prosecutor, he would, as Charlie said, have exposed the Department of Justice to claims of impropriety or that there was some kind of double dealing here. The fact that he is appointed here provides some kind of cover for the administration. The fact that Robert Hur is a holdover from the Trump administration, again, provides additional cover. And indeed, all of the special prosecutors who have been involved here, Lautner in Chicago, Hur here in Maryland, those are all Trump holdovers. So again, to give the appearance that there is no double dealing, no impropriety going on here.
Melissa, one more question on this. Do you think that the appointment of a special counsel signals, because I've heard folks say this in various media outlets, that this somehow signals that that DOJ is about to make some sort of legal move against Donald Trump? Do you buy that?
Well, according to the regulations for the appointment of a special counsel, there is some kind of investigation that is ongoing or going on or about to happen. So it could be that there's an investigation. It doesn't necessarily have to be an investigation that leads to a prosecution or indictment or any kind of criminal investigatory activity. But it is likely here where there is a conflict of interest. Here, this is an attorney general likely investigating a president who appointed him. There's a major conflict of interest, and the optics of this and the security of the department and its integrity is really at stake. And so it warrants the appointment of a special counsel.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Charlie, what do we know about the level of classification of the Biden documents? Because, I mean, we've heard that some have been marked top secret, but there are a whole lot of levels of classification. And I'm just wondering, does the over-classification of documents play any role in the case involving President Biden?
I don't think we have information that would allow us to make any kind of assessment about that one way or the other. Yes, there's been some sort of leak-based rumors that there were some top secret files marked top secret in the Biden tranche, just as there were many in the Trump tranche. But that has not been confirmed by the government, let alone what the topics were. And then to further, it is the case that people have for years, including national security officials, said that some information is overclassified because of a bureaucratic impulse to mark something as secret that really could be made public safely. No one's going to get in trouble for overclassifying something, but they might get in trouble for underclassifying something is the critique. But we don't know what this is. And so it's way premature to say that plays a factor here.
Mm-hmm. And one more question for you, Charlie, in the minute that we have left. In addition to examining Biden's handling of classified documents, House Republicans are preparing to probe Hunter Biden's past business dealings in Ukraine. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, who we were just talking about earlier, has loosely tied the classified documents investigation to Hunter, pointing out that he lived in the residence where the documents were found until 2018. Charlie, in your reporting, have you found even a trace link between Hunter Biden and the classified documents found among President Biden's papers?
There's no indication of that yet. It's sort of at this point, just sort of a beautiful mind connecting things on the wall. But also not surprising that they would try to connect these things just for the optics of it.